Okay, hi Chris.
Hi Mike.
So we're here today for you to just tell us a little bit about yourself and your new book, which comes out May the 19th, Wake Up and Soar, How to Master Your Well-Being. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to write the book.
For sure. I've written a few books. This was the one that felt that it ought to be published. The others, they all served a purpose. They inspired the yoga teacher training at Ashiana. One was a short story that actually appears in this book. But this one was an important one, I feel, for me, because it expresses my total approach to well-being. And this has really come about from having spent 10 years at Ashiana, the yoga retreat center in the north of Goa, and talked to so many different customers and understood what it was that had wound them up, you know, at the coalface of their Western lives. You know, we're here looking out over Piccadilly Circus. And, you know, this really is kind of very symbolic of what it is that potentially gets people so wound up in the city, the noise and the pollution and the traffic and the hustle and bustle and the sense of having to achieve so much in such a short space of time, and that this is kind of being ratcheted up, you know, year by year. In fact, I've noticed this over the 10 years that people are that much more wound up today than they were 10 years ago. So we sought to find ways in which we could help people to relax, to come back home, and Ashiana actually means in Hindi home. It means shelter, sanctuary, place of rest. And that's quite symbolic, I think. So Wake Up and Soar was a book that was my opportunity to express how I saw today's trends in the marketplace, stress, chronic disease going through the roof, and then what we could do to help people. So the premise that I started with was that most well-being experiences are what I call a hot bath experience. I love hot baths, I don't know about you. Nothing I like more when I'm back in this country to get into a hot bath again. And I do it with some salt, you know, in the water, because it's just such a beautiful feeling to relax in that heat, and it actually gets me very inspired. So I'm very relaxed, but I'm also inspired at the same time. It's that beautiful kind of juxtaposition. And the challenge with a hot bath is, unless you're going straight to bed, in which case you just fall off to sleep very gently. If you're going back into life, the hot bath cools, that the effect cools down, you know, it wears off. Give it a minute, give it an hour, give it a few days, a few weeks, it's gone. So even people coming to Ashiana who are really deeply relaxed because of the yoga and the food and the amazing company and the beautiful beach and so on. You know, if you see them maybe a week after they return home, they're very probably in exactly the same state of mind as they were just before they left. And that's okay, it's not that it's a problem. My point is that it's very hard to integrate an experience into your life such that you create longevity of that experience. If you do experience deep calm and peace and tranquility on a retreat or reading a book or meeting a spiritual master, how do you integrate it into your life? So the book, I started from that perspective. What can I do to overcome that? How can I create an ongoing opportunity to support? The bottom line is, with a book you can't. So the first thing I realized was we needed to create something at the end of the book. And so we are going to launch an app as well, and I'll talk about that maybe another time. But the book is an introduction to a way of seeing yourself in life today. And I've created 3 keys. And I've challenged myself to make this as simple as possible so that an 8-year-old kid could read the book and would get something from it as well. The 3 keys are these. The first is to learn to calm your mind. And I feel that this is really the base to everything, because if you want to be happy in life, if you want to be healthy, if you want to have some kind of compelling purpose in life, the likelihood is that you may stumble upon some divine purpose, some incredible dream and so on. And in fact, that's what happens to most people. But if you don't know how to calm your mind, you'll very probably find that you get addicted to your love, your passion, and then when you're not doing that, life ain't so good. And we see this often with rock stars and pop stars and amazing sports people. There's this incredible dichotomy in their lives. What they love and what they don't love so much. And we've got some lovely music going on at the moment that I'm going to pretend that I love. So the first tool, the first key rather, is to learn to calm your mind. And I've created a tool for each of these keys. So the tool is Wake Up and Soar, the same as the name of the book. And waking up is that idea that you need to wake up in order to discover that you were lost. Or to put it the other way around, when you recognize that you were just lost in a stream of mind-made noise, that is waking up. So for example, we're in a conversation between us and I suddenly realize I can't remember a single thing you've just been saying. And I wake up to that realization. So in the moment of realizing I was lost, I'm found. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first step is to wake up. Now when you wake up, it's like you climb onto a stage called the now, the present moment. And when you step onto that stage of the now, you've got the opportunity to do something with it. You can remain present and be on stage, or you can slowly kind of slide, fall, drop off stage and go back into being in that stream of thought. Now, if you choose to stay on stage with the bright lights of awareness shining brightly, then you feel a vibrancy, you feel alive. You are literally here 100%. And in that place of being present to the now, you can choose what you do. You can choose to have a thought. You can choose what you say. You can choose what you do, but you do it consciously. So the first key is key. Wake up and soar. Learn how to calm your mind. The second key is that with that knowledge, you'll begin to become more aware of your lifestyle. So for example, I've always drunk a lot of water, but I remember when I first read about the importance of water, I don't know, 25, 30 years ago, it started to dawn on me why I like drinking a lot of water. You know, and all the systems of the body require water to function. The natural healing system of the body, the immune system, the cardiovascular, the respiratory, so on and so forth, they all require a lot of water. Now, I don't necessarily adhere to this idea that you need 3 liters of water. I think the thing is when you grow calm and you become sensitive to your needs truly at depth, you sense what you need and you will drink more water. It's just naturally going to occur unless you already drink a lot. You become aware of how you eat. You become aware of how you sleep. You become aware of rest and relaxation. You become aware of your relationships. You become aware of how you're doing everything in life, and you become present to what really works for you. Not that one size fits all, but that you start to personalize your experience, your lifestyle, those 12 pillars that I talked about. The tool that I've created is called your personal support system, and that is these 12 pillars: how you create loving community around you, how you make sure you get enough nature in your life, how you eat, sleep, breathe, and so on. And the third key, once you have these 2 first keys in place, is that you learn to be able to fly, and you learn to be able to fly safely. And the tool is called the law of magic. And the law of magic goes something like this. There are 2 parts to it. The first part is that when you get in touch with what you're passionate about, you know, like Lewis Hamilton was passionate about go-karting from the age of 8 or 9 or 10. I have a good friend who discovered that he wanted to be an actor when he was very young, sitting directly opposite me just now. And that impassioned him. It meant that when he was doing that or when he was practicing for that, he came alive. So the idea is that when you do what you love, you could almost say when you do what you were put here on this planet to do, you literally come alive. Now, quantum science tells us that everything is energy. We are energy. And when we come alive, you can imagine the frequency of vibration raises. And it becomes very clear. The frequency is utterly clear. And what it means is we're vibrating with a resonance that is alive and is touching others. And that leads on to the second part of fly, or discover your heartfelt desires, the law of magic, which is that when you come alive, you touch others. And you invite them into that same quality of mind, that quality of being, that aliveness. And unless you're an incredibly closed-minded, closed-hearted, very depressive soul, then if you come alive, quite simply, I'm going to be inspired to come alive. And the beauty of this is that your gift to the world is to come alive, therefore. Because when you come alive, you invite me to come alive. You touch others. Now, it might be in a small way. You might be a bus driver in the south of Wales and you do a beautiful job of driving that bus, and when people enter your bus, you're very friendly and smiley, and you make them feel good, and you drive very safely, and they feel that and sense it, and they feel great. That's how you touch them. Equally, you might be the poet laureate, or you might become an incredible entrepreneur, or you might become whatever it is. But when you come alive, when you discover what it is that really turns you on in life, that's your gift to others, those around you, because you inspire them. So that's just a little kind of window on what the book's about.
So that's very interesting. So you're talking about a kind of epidemiological chain reaction where everyone affects everyone else. Now we know this is the case, but what you're talking about is everyone affecting everyone else with their good energies, with their calmness, with their mindfulness, with their very well-being.
Or the other way around, obviously.
Or the other way around. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What would you say, just finally on the book, what would you say would be, if there was one thing you would want someone reading the book to take away from it, and hopefully they'll take away more than one thing, obviously, but if there were just one thing, what one thing would you want them to take away from reading Wake Up and Soar?
The only way to be healthy and happy and live a compelling life is to recognize that you are in control.
That's a very powerful and very beautiful thing, actually. That's really great. Lovely. Thanks ever so much, Chris. Thanks for talking to us about Wake Up
Thank you
and
for
Soar.
your time.
Thank you. Good luck with the book launch on May 19th.
Thank you.
Thank you.